What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. I am your nutritionist. I'm a guy who shares because I care. And I'm going to talk about something tonight with my dear friend and fellow nutrition, health, and weight loss coach, the one and only Hammer Girl, yes, Lisa Marie. And we're going to talk about antibiotics and gut health. And I guarantee you that you're going to walk away from this conversation and go, I didn't know that. Because most people don't. And your gut is very, very important. And millions of people, millions every year, are taking antibiotics. Not just once, but millions of people are taking antibiotics 2 times, 3 times, 4 times a week. Now, before I bring on Lisa Marie, let me know if you're catching us live. Have you ever taken antibiotics? And if you have, in the last year, I want you to let me know, yes, I have. And let me know how many times you've taken it. Because antibiotics, though I have the utmost respect and appreciation for them, someone won the Nobel Peace Prize because of antibiotics. Antibiotics have saved the lives of millions and millions and millions of people. I'm okay with antibiotics, but I also know that they're overprescribed. And I also know that people don't know how to eat after they have taken antibiotics. And that's what you want to know. Because if you don't know what we're going to share tonight, that's one of the reasons why so many people are dealing with so many chronic illnesses, is because no one ever educated them on how to eat, to rebuild and to reestablish the damage that took place inside of their gut as they took antibiotics. Some of you are going to get upset and get mad. Some of you will be angry because you expected your physician, your doctor, to share this information, or the nurse assistant or someone, but they didn't. And for this reason, this is one of the reasons, I'm having a challenge called the Gut Health Challenge. Not only to help people for what they want right now, whether it's losing weight or just to feel better or to learn more about the gut, but so that when they end up having to take antibiotics, they know exactly what to do after they've taken the antibiotics. Now, most people that I talk to who think they know, they'll say, oh, well, Robert, yeah, you just take like some probiotics. Really? Okay. Listen to this conversation first before you continue to keep sharing that with other people, which is horrible information. And you're setting other people up to just regurgitate that to other people, and then nobody wins. It's absolutely ridiculous. So without delay, on the phone, we have the one and only Hammer Girl, a.k.a. Lisa Marie. What's up, Lisa?
What's up, Robert? How are you?
Do you like how I set that up?
I do. I love it.
Because, I mean, I'm sure, and I'm going to assume when I say I'm sure. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I got my Hugh Hefner robe on tonight. Because today was a very, like I told you earlier, it was a crazy day. And actually, before I just dive, I was ready to just dive in. Let's all welcome Lisa Marie. And Lisa, how are you? And give us an update on what you're doing. And we've also made available your contact information so people can reach out to you.
Thank you, Robert. No, I'm doing good. Just doing my thing here, working with clients, and trying to help the best I can. And I'm looking forward to this topic on antibiotics and gut health specifically, because my son just did a round of antibiotics a few weeks ago. So,
woo, man. Well, you're gonna appreciate this conversation.
I know.
I mean, because like a lot of times when people mention antibiotics, they just go to this deep, dark place and demonize them. Where I go, look, you can't demonize antibiotics
Yeah,
because there's millions of people who would have been dead without antibiotics. But we
absolutely.
also know that they're overprescribed,
Right.
right? So, and I think that when people understand how they impact their gut microbiome, which means they need to better understand the importance of their gut microbiome, then everyone is in a better place because doctors right now, as we speak, and you can tell me as a mom taking your kid in, I would be willing to bet that they didn't give you a program to follow as far as food on how to deal with getting restoration when it comes to your kids, gut. Which
Um,
fortunately you know better, but
yeah,
did they give you any like advice?
no, not at all. They didn't even like I mean, sometimes they'll mention, right, taking a probiotic with it. But no, they didn't mention anything um about the gut health after and restoring that. But I mean, good thing I know about it, right?
Man, it's like if you think about how crazy this is, that doctors are not giving advice on what to consume or what to do after taking antibiotics, like it's mind blowing. So let me lay the foundation to what I mean by this. Okay, the gut microbiome or your gut health begins in your mouth and it ends in your anus. And between your mouth and your bum, right, you have trillions of microbes. Some are helpful, harmful, but there's a symbiotic relationship between them where you need some of the negative bacteria to work with the positive bacteria that really creates this balance. And when you take antibiotics, it's almost like sterilizing everything in there. So you kill the not so helpful and you kill the helpful bacteria and it's gone. This you've wiped it out. And it puts you in a position where you're susceptible to anything that ties into your immune system. You're susceptible to other diseases. You're susceptible to a slow metabolism. You're susceptible to so many negative things. And they don't give you like recommendations on what to do to bring it back to where it was before you took the antibiotics.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? And that's scary. Now, I do know that the younger a person is, restoration is faster. They can replenish better. They're in a much healthier place. But when you're 50, 55, 62, 75, you don't replenish the same as a young kid who's 13.
Right. Right. And then, I mean, they also, I mean, how many people too, you go and, they just keep prescribing the antibiotics. So like
Mm.
you still have the same issue and then they keep prescribing it. But in the meantime, you're not even working, on your health. So, I mean, on your gut. So
It's pretty scary.
it is.
It's pretty scary. So, in order for this to all make a lot of sense to those who are joining in, help me, Lisa Marie, set the foundation so that what we do share will make more sense. And I say that because there's some people that don't even know what a gut microbiome is. There's quite a few people who have no clue on what we're talking about when we talk about like antibiotics, when it can create problems inside of their gut, which then leads to a whole bunch of problems with their overall health. So we do got to kind of build it a little bit, and that's not going to take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I start going too fast, then pull me back and ask me questions or like kind of remind me to bring up certain things that will help people. And then after we're done, inside of the next 25 minutes or so, everyone, we're going over to Telegram where we can open up and I can curse.
Is that your favorite part of Telegram?
Well, I mean, I guess I get cursed on
You
YouTube
say
too,
that
but
all the time.
it just feels like there's more freedom there, and then you can get to hear other people share their story, right?
Right.
So when we
Yeah.
jump over to Telegram, you guys, you want to come over there because we're growing. I mean, Lisa set it up. We doubled. I think we almost tripled how many people were in Telegram
Mm-hmm.
uh, in our first week.
Mm-hmm.
And guys,
Yeah.
that's not a lot. It's not like we got millions of people, but I'm just saying you got to start somewhere.
No, but it's a nice group over there too. We have great conversations over there the past
Great
few
conversation.
weeks.
All right, well, let me give a couple shout outs to who are catching us right now. So Tina, no, Vonda, what's up, Vonda? Glad you're here. Sandy Silver's in the house. We got Linda Jackson. Mike, what's up, Mike? Mike says muted. Mike is in the house. What does that? What does muted mean? Well, let me just tell you, Mike, you ain't missed anything yet. We're about to dive in a big way. Tina C is here. We got Claire Sage is in the house. Hooray, Mr. V. Maybe she invited Mike over here. So thank you for doing that. Cheryl Wright, what's up, Cheryl? Okay. Oh man. Like, have you always listened to radio, Lisa?
I have.
You remember a woman by the name of Mother Love?
Mother Love. No.
So Mother Love had a national radio show in the 80s and early 90s, and then she had a national TV show for a moment. And I did a show with her earlier today.
Oh,
And we
nice.
talked about, she was very interested in our gut health challenge. And so usually I get on her show and we're on for an hour, and then like clockwork is over. We went like 95 minutes
Nice.
because people were responding and they were like, what? Like, and they didn't want it to end. And so a lot of what I shared on her show, I want to share in this show. Okay. So let me start with this. Your gut microbiome when you're born is given to you by your mother. Your gut microbiome does so many different things. And so let me preface by sharing, I'm going to share 4 things and then we'll go from there, Lisa. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I'm going to go back 2,400 plus years to a guy named Hippocrates. Hippocrates is considered the father of modern day medicine. He was a Greek physician, and he was quoted for saying a couple of things. Well, he said many things, but I'm going to highlight 2 things. One, he said, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. This dude, I mean, like, try to get the fact that he said this before Christ was born.
Mm-hmm.
Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. And then he said, all disease begins in the gut. Now, I could go conspiracy on this one because how did he know that 2,400 years ago? And science today is just now confirming it. And let me also share, because when doctors become a licensed physician, they take an oath. It's called the Hippocratic Oath. And the Hippocratic Oath is based on Hippocrates. When they raise their hand and they basically say, I promise, right, to do no harm. I promise to like provide informed consent and all the other things that go with that. Well, the word doctor in its original meaning, Greek, Latin, means teacher. And today, doctors, and let me know if you agree with this, Lisa, they're not teaching.
No.
So a doctor is supposed to teach. And so he said that all disease begins in the gut. So let me ask everyone who's watching and listening in, has your doctor ever like talked to you or sat with you and explained to you information that's all about you being informed, and definitely talking about the role of your gut when it comes to your health? Has your doctor talked to you about that, Lisa?
Yeah, I have to say, I have a very good doctor. She has always talked to me about that. My son's pediatrician as well. So, but I sought those kind of doctors out because I understood the importance of that. So, yeah,
Wow.
I'm very blessed. I have two. Me and my son both have amazing doctors that understand that.
Okay, well, my doctor, when I went and met with my doctors, Harvard grad, Stanford this, blah, 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 they ain't ever, and I didn't tell them who I was and what I did. I mean, you're fortunate because my pediatricians, they didn't say that. Next thing you know, we were educating them.
Yeah,
And I believe most people are not as lucky as you.
yeah. No,
Okay.
I was very lucky.
Okay. Well, the gut is very powerful. And like I did a little presentation the other day where I shared with people how depending on the balance of your gut, that dictates if you're going to be overweight or not.
Mhm.
So if you have dysbiosis, which means there's an imbalance of the gut health, you could end up being overweight, you could be underweight. So your gut health is very, 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 very important. And the microbes that you have in there when you're a kid get tarnished by antibiotics. And there's been studies done on it, which I'm going to share with everyone. There's one particular study that was in the journal Cell, where they took 20 people who were all very healthy. They looked at their gut, they looked at their weight, everything. They were healthy. They didn't have any problems, etc. And then after they tested their gut, they gave them antibiotics. They used 4 different antibiotics. As a result of those antibiotics, they wanted to see how fast after the antibiotics their guts would get back to that normal state, that healthy state. And 4 of the people, it took 6 months for their guts to be restored. Now, all of the participants, Lisa, all said, well, it would have been better if you guys had given us some instructions on how to get our guts back healthier. So that was not provided. But all of these people had healthy habits before the study. So they just felt that they would just go back to their old ways. And then let's just monitor and see how long it's going to take for their gut health to get back to where it needs to be in a homeostasis place.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at, so if someone said, okay, well, if I take antibiotics, which I recommend, hey, if it makes sense and you got to take them because it can save your life. How long will it take for you to get back your gut health? 1 day to 6 months based on this one study. Now, we're going to share with everybody what you can eat and things you can do to make that happen. But that's a big part of why I wanted to do the gut health challenge, is not just because it's a challenge and people can lose weight and they can like feel better, but they would then have information so that when they take antibiotics again, because a lot of us are going to, when I look at the data, I mean, what? I was looking at data, 270 million antibiotic prescriptions are filled every year. 270 million just in the US.
Crazy.
And I do believe a lot of them are overprescribed. But regardless, people are getting, like, I have clients, they're getting prescriptions for antibiotics like 2 times, 3 times in a year.
Yeah.
They're wiping out their gut health, wiping out their gut health, wiping 3 times.
Yeah, well, that was me. That's when I started learning about the gut. That was me, and then I switched to the doctor that I have now, and she's like, "Wait a second." She's like, "You've been on antibiotics 3 times in a year." She's like, "We need to get to the bottom of what the real issue is here and work on your gut too in that interim." So, it's been a very long, over 20 years that since that happened, and having her teaching me about that aspect, the gut, and kind of getting to the root of some issues.
Wow.
Instead of just, she's not, I am very blessed because she's not one to prescribe any medications.
Wow.
My son, this was the first time. He is 13, and this is really the first time that he's ever been on an antibiotic in 13 years. He's never been, so I did reach out to you. I'm like, do I give this antibiotic?
Well,
But
like one of the saddest things, Lisa, is that if you do talk to a doctor and you get antibiotics, the only recommendation they give you is like, oh yeah, go buy a probiotic.
yeah, that's it.
Not knowing that probiotic, the likelihood of it doing more damage
Yeah.
is way higher than it actually helping.
Yeah.
But hey, you guys, even though we're like giving them a hard time and we're talking about this, we're going to tell you exactly what to do. The good news is that we're going to help you out because we actually know. Yeah, I just find it so sad. And when I was talking to Mother Love earlier today, I was like, Mother Love, I'm telling you, keep this video because everything that I'm sharing with you in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I gave her a lot of predictions because people taking these weight loss drugs and all of that is in the gut microbiome. All of that is taking place inside the gut.
Yeah.
And you don't think that there's going to be some problems. And what was interesting is that Mother Love is on Ozempic. By the time we were done talking, she was like, oh, okay, I got to transition off of this. And I go, yeah, and you know me. We've known each other for years, Mother Love. I go, what the hell are you doing? I said, you're like, you may leave us early because you're just going with what the doctor's telling you. And the doctors don't know. They really don't. And I'm not here to like beat up on doctors. And, because I've had some of my friends go, man, I heard you were talking negative about physicians. I go, do you know? And one of my friends, I go, homie, do you know? You don't know. I know that you don't know. It's like I was telling him, I said, I'm going to be Cat Williams here. Do you know who Cat Williams is?
No.
He's a comedian. He's been being very public and being open about other celebrities who are just full of shit. Oh, sorry. I'll hold that for Telegram.
Telegram. That'll be better right there.
All right. So someone asked a question real quick, if you don't mind, Lisa. They said, I'm new to Telegram. What do I search? Can you help them with that?
Yeah. So you have to download the Telegram app. You can go to Telegram if you're on your computer or laptop. You can just go right to telegram.com and download it there. Or you can do it from the App Store. And then once you set up your profile, you're going to search for Diet Free Life. That's what we have it as, Robert, right?
And then I did make available the link so they could click on the link and just go.
Oh, yes. There you go. And then you just click on the link and you'll join. It'll say join channel or join group, and you're going to join the group. And then at the top of the screen, you'll see when we are over there and we're having that live conversation, at the very top of the screen, you'll see a join button. And that's what's called the voice chat, where we can converse back and forth. You can mute yourself, mute your mic. If you want to ask a question, you can ask a question. And as opposed to, YouTube or Facebook where you have to type it, we can actually have the conversation. You guys can kind of join us on here and we can have the conversation together.
We can have a conversation. Yeah. Okay. So Sharon, who's a friend of mine, who's a client, I've known Sharon since I think 2001. Very smart lady. She posts, she says, using antibiotics creates systemic candida that needs to be cleared. I don't understand how balance the gut in 24 hours. I refuse to take antibiotics. Okay. I want you to respond to that, Lisa, but I want to just first say I'm okay with antibiotics when they're used properly because they save lives. Antibiotics is a blessing. It's a gift. And I'm thankful because I know it's helped a lot of people. I am not in, I don't agree with the overprescription of it, but we are going to talk about what to eat and how to eat and what to do to restore your gut after you take antibiotics. You want to add anything to that?
No, but I do understand, Sharon. I'm kind of the same way, right? Where she says I refuse to take antibiotics. And, when I had to, my son just kept getting a recurrent strep infection over the past year. And, we tried to treat it naturally. And, it got to the point that I had to do I was like, okay, do I do the antibiotics knowing that it's going to destroy, right? It's going to kill everything in that was my hesitation. But, but then also knowing that, I can restore that, and I'm lucky. I will say that I'm lucky with my son because he has a very, he eats a variety of foods. So he eats his fruits and veggies. He's not a kid that, doesn't eat that. So we can diversify his microbiome through food and other means. But I understand that. I understand that hesitation, but sometimes, I do, they are necessary. But it's having the information, because I think all we hear is like, okay, it kills, 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 kills. I was also listening to a video one day by Dr. Sabine, and that kind of opened me a little bit to it. And and I heard her saying, like, sometimes you do need like the antibiotic. You have to kill that pathogen, whatever it is, and then you can work on building it back up. And so that was the approach that I took this time, and I'm thankful that so far so good.
Well, see, I love what you just said, because you have to rebuild, but nobody's teaching them how to rebuild.
Exactly.
Everybody, do you guys hear this? Okay, Cheryl, do you hear what I'm saying? Cheryl's one of my clients. She's smart. I think one day I can see her being she'll be a brilliant coach. But a lot of my clients, like, that I work with, Sharon, please understand this, you guys. Please understand that in nutrition is very important. Like, when I was talking to Mother Love, and she was a big time celebrity at one point. She's still a celebrity in my mind. And I said, Cheryl, sorry, not Cheryl. I said, Mother Love, let's do a show and let me be Cat Williams. And we both laughed because we know what Cat Williams recently did. He put a lot of people on blast. And my point was, I want to talk about Oprah. And she goes, what? What do you want to talk about Oprah? I said, Oprah has for years been saying, to whom much is given, much is expected, which is a biblical verse. Well, if that's true, which I believe it is true, I'm going to call her ass out, because there's things that she's done and didn't do that could be helping so many people. Steve Harvey, who I've been on his show, I met him. I mean, he lied to me. I can tell you that right now. And he's got a product that he's pushing. This health-related product. I have a whole bunch to talk about that. And then I saw Kevin Hart. He's got a new product that he's pushing. Got people standing in lines. And all of these people have no idea that these products they're taking ain't making them better. It's making them worse. But they don't know any better. And the celebrities behind this stuff don't know any better.
Right.
So they're either just stupid, or they're ignorant, or they just don't give a shit. Right. Oh, I got to say that for Telegram. Sorry. Okay.
Well, it's like, you know what, too? It's like, even when we're with the gut in particular, and even like these supplements, like we've had this conversation, and I have learned from you too, and that, like what you mentioned before, you can rebuild that gut, right, in one day, or 6 months, right? So you can rebuild the gut in one day, but you can also destroy the gut in one day, and not just through antibiotics. There's plenty of other things that can destroy, even supplements as well.
I mean, even alcohol.
And alcohol,
drink,
soda, right? Coffee, all of that can, and even probiotics. So just because we hear too that like probiotics, everybody just has that belief that probiotics, I need to take probiotics, I need to take probiotics. But do you really know what those probiotics are
No,
doing
they
inside your
don't.
gut?
Nope.
Right. And so, so even those probiotics, maybe they're building up some bacteria and, killing off others. And then you still have that dysbiosis. So it's not necessarily a good thing. If you don't know what it's doing to the microbiome, just because somebody says take a probiotic doesn't necessarily mean it's good either.
That's right. And it's cool. Like in the gut health challenge, I exposed some of those things. So I shared some of those studies as part of the lessons.
Nice.
Now Cheryl says this, and then we're gonna go to giving some solutions. Then we'll let everybody go, and then we'll go over to Telegram. So if you guys want to like really be part of the conversation and hear some no holds barred stuff, then come over to Telegram. But Cheryl says, I had learned a lot about the gut microbiome and antibiotics when I got bit. Wow. By a brown recluse spider 4 times. Oh my, Cheryl, when we have our next coach call, geez, you were bit by a brown recluse? Oh my God.
4 times.
Oh, I mean, I know a guy that like he's not a friend, but he's an associate. He came over to my house and he was walking through these people's backyard one time, and a brown recluse bit him like in the cheek. He walked through the spider web. And, you go through and you're like,
you jump around. It's like
and the spider was on him, and he's smacking himself.
It's like kung fu fighting.
Oh man! And so he grew a beard because of the scar it left. Yeah, I mean, I want to go into, but Jesus. So she says, I developed candida overgrowth from the antibiotics. At that point, I learned the holistic way. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to give them some basic tips. So you guys, it helps to understand what a prebiotic is, a probiotic, and what they call a postbiotic. A prebiotic is fiber, basically, dietary fiber. So if you eat a banana has inulin in it. And there's various fibers in different foods to include resistant starch, right? So when you have fiber like fruits and vegetables, when it gets to in your intestines, you have live bacteria, which is called probiotics. So you already have probiotics in your body. That's live bacteria. And so when the prebiotics mix in with the probiotic, you can almost look like it creates a baby called a postbiotic in the form of what we call short chain fatty acids. And that's where the healing and the benefits in the large intestine, your colon, come about, which helps with leaky gut and all these other things. And if you don't have that, then what happens is your body, your intestines start to eat itself. And when it eats itself, it reduces that thick layer, what they call this mucus layer, and then a lot of things can kind of get through that and get into your circulation. So it's almost like a fence that's strong, but when you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, that fence gets weak, and things that normally wouldn't get through the fence and into your circulation. That creates havoc. That was my quick and short hood breakdown. Okay.
That was good.
Okay. So fruits and vegetables are really your friend. And it's fascinating when people say, oh, I don't eat fruit. It's too high in sugar. Oh my God. They have no idea what they're doing, what they're setting themselves up for. So you have that. And then when it comes to having a healthier gut, in short, and we can talk about this more over in Telegram, you guys, but all gastroenterologists agree on one thing, and that is a diverse gut is a healthy gut. And the way you get a diverse gut is eating a variety of different foods. like plant-based foods, fruits and vegetables. So if you eat the same fruits and vegetables every day, every week, that does not mean diverse.
Yeah.
So that's one way to get your gut healthier after antibiotics. Do that. Just dive into fruits and vegetables.
And
Don't
then,
run and get a probiotic.
you know what I always say to my clients too is that, like when you're working on that microbiome, diversifying that, some people, let's say you like the potato, but maybe one day you have the russet potato, you have a sweet potato, you have a red potato, right? Those are all different ways. Those are ways you can kind of eat the same food, but in a different color, right? To diversify that microbiome as well.
Absolutely. Well, you can see someone from, I think, our Facebook group. So we don't know the name, so I apologize. But she says, or he says, I feel like people are uninformed, not stupid. I agree. They're not stupid. I agree. So sometimes when I say stupid, that means I'm just emotionally getting caught up. Whoever this is, says there is so much information through social media, government, education, and news that is confusing. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Education like you provide needs to be a base for people to begin changing their health. Robert has researched and pursued the truth and is sharing it in a time that is desperately needed. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's why Lisa and I are here right now. We don't make money with you, sharing. Are you making money doing this, Lisa?
Nope.
Okay.
No, but I like to share this information, right? Because it's so important,
Yeah.
especially with especially with our kids too, right? So like, because I mean, kids, I think are the ones that get put on antibiotics and the most, even though they rebound a little quicker, it doesn't set them up, good for the future when it's just rounds and rounds of antibiotics. We got to work on, keeping them healthy so they don't need to be in the doctor getting the antibiotic.
Amen. As Tina says, eat the rainbow. Yes, eat the rainbow. And of course, we both teach the methodology, you guys. So I don't know why people have a hard time with this, Lisa, but the goal is to become informed and to teach. Like I had a client that I took on about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy seems to know a lot when I talked to him the first time. I took him on as a client, and not even a real full week goes by, and he's like, I'm gonna do something else. Now, people like that, you can't help everybody because a lot of people will get in their own way.
Right.
Same as people will actually block themselves from being able to become successful. So you can't help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned that the hard way. And I'm at a place where when I get someone like this guy, I just go, can't save everybody. I just let them go. I don't think about it 1 second after they get in their own way. Their lack of, and I don't know if it's intelligence or what, or stupidity or whatever you want to call it, blocks them. And I just pray and hope that they wake up and they figure it out. But it's kind of like the goal was right there. Like he didn't know it, but all he had to do was reach in his pocket and it was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's not being, I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being like, hey, my way or the highway. I just know what I know. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like if I wanted to be a photographer, I don't know how to be. I would be happy to work with and be trained and mentored by the best photographer to save me time. I get that. But so many people get in their own way. And as this person just shared, a lot of it has to do with they go on TikTok, they go on Facebook, they're on YouTube, and you have all this conflicting information
Mm-hmm.
that then they don't know. And then based on what they understand or what aligns with their bias, they will then make a decision. And that's why when we say evidence-based and clinically proven, the work that we do, that means something.
Mm-hmm. And that's what too. I mean, I know like tonight we were supposed to have another topic, but like if we do the original one for tonight next week, I think that's a good topic that kind of helps in that area with all of the all of the information out there, all of the, you know, Netflix series, you know, about different diets, and being able to actually see, like, you know, being able to like critically think. I don't know if that's the right word when you're you know, listening to these studies, right? And like being able to kind of pull apart and see the missing pieces in what they're talking about.
Yes. And what Lisa is reminding you guys of, for some of you, last week we said that this week we were going to talk about the Netflix series where they took these twins, 22 sets of twins, actually, in this study at Stanford, and they had one group go with a vegan way of eating and one group go with eating meat. And we moved it to next week because there's one of the studies that I'm really deep in right now, and I'm not done dissecting it. So it's one thing to look at abstracts. It's another thing to look at the real study and go into the study. So I need a little bit more time because I want to do it justice. So next week, we will be able to go into it and do it justice. And I can tell you up front right now that that entire study was biased. And there's so many holes in it that if you watch that series on Netflix, I think it's called You Are What You Eat. Don't get caught up in the lie, because I'm going to expose all of it step by step with all the real studies. And it's a total fabricated lie. Like, to me, when I look at that series now and I hear people bring it up, or I see someone post it on Facebook, oh, you got to see this. That's total propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
And people have been bamboozled?
Yeah, they just jump on it, right?
Yeah. They've been hoodwinked.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so let me say, I'm going to give last thing, and then let's go to Telegram so we can dig into this. You guys, my recommendation, eat a variety of fruits and vegetables after you take antibiotics. Don't panic. Don't freak out. You'll be okay. You can restore your gut. In the study that I mentioned earlier, if you got in here a little later, 6 months max, 1 day. That's as quick as it can happen. Literally, you could change the way you're eating right now, and in 24 hours, your microbiome, your gut health is in better balance. But some people, it could take up to 6 months. It could take up to 6 months with healthy, vibrant people when you take antibiotics. So after the antibiotics, it's not just about eat a little bit of yogurt for a few days. It's deeper than that. Mm-hmm. And I would also say that if you're taking antibiotics, and let's say you didn't restore your gut the proper way, which most people don't, and those who are listening to us didn't, they had antibiotics again. They destroyed their gut again. They didn't restore it properly. Then another year went by, or 3 months went by, and they got antibiotics again, and they destroyed it even more. Very far from where it once was. Don't give up. Mm-hmm. We can help. You can still bring it back, and bring it back stronger and healthier than ever. So I'll stop there. Your thoughts, Lisa? Last comments?
No, this is a good conversation, and I'm looking forward to continuing it over on Telegram.
Okay, so give everybody some a little bit of instructions. Tell them what to do if they want to come join us on Telegram.
So you posted a link, right, under this broadcast. There's a link. Mm-hmm. So you're just going to click on the link, and if you don't have a Telegram account, you're just you're going to set it. You'll click the link, and you'll be prompted, I guess, to set up a Telegram account. And then when you hit that link after your account is set up, you'll be on the Diet Free Life channel. You'll see Robert's posts. And then if you look at the very top of your screen in the right-hand corner, you'll see a join button. You're going to press that join button, and it's like a voice chat. So it's like old school. What did you call it when you have those conference calls, right?
Like a radio show.
It's like a radio, yeah. So everybody just like dials in, and you'll see a bunch of people in there, and everybody has their mic, so you don't have to speak if you don't want to. You can press the button you'll see like a blue mic button. And if you want to speak, you can press that and join in the conversation, ask questions, or, we can just talk about, this topic and, as Robert said, other topics.
That's right. If you have other questions, we'll talk about that too, but we will go a little deeper and talk about the world we live in when it comes to antibiotics and what you can do. And I will give you like some clear step-by-step instructions. And for those of you who are catching the replay, you can go there because Lisa records it, and then you can actually click and listen to it at your convenience.
Yes.
All right. So Lisa, if you don't mind, go ahead and go. I'm going to play a little video, let these guys, and then everybody else go on over. There's a link there. Go there. Come on.
All right. See you later.
All right. I'll see you in less than a minute.
All right.
All right, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. You guys, our information is there. If you are interested in anything, reach out to us. We are here to help. And we want to give you the real information that can help you now and for the rest of your life. And antibiotics is a positive thing. However, if you don't know how to eat and how to restore your gut after antibiotics, God knows I want to help you. So we want you to be informed of this, because when you do that and then do it again and do it again, where you don't restore it again, or like the proper way, it sets you up for a whole bunch of other chronic challenges. And we're talking about your health. Okay. So I'm Robert Ferguson. I want to say thank you for being here. We share because we care. Other than that, I'm going to play a little video to say goodbye, and then I'm on my way over to Telegram. And if you can be there live, be there live. And if you can't be there live, then the replay will be there waiting on you. All right. Love you guys. Until the next one, peace out. Let's do it.